Welcome to the Today in History channel. In today's video we will talk about the day, May 22nd, 1455, beginning of the War of the Roses. On May 22nd, 1455, the Duke of York attacked the forces of King Henry VI of England in the village of St. Albans. Thus began the War of the Roses. The conflict, which would develop during the second half of the 15th century, was a noble war between the two branches of the Plantagenet dynasty, Lancaster and York, for the succession to the throne of England. It took its name from the respective heraldic emblems, the white rose from the House of York and the red rose from the House of Lancaster. With the attack on St. Albans, the Duke of York intended to remove King Henry VI of Lancaster from the influence of a group of advisers who, in his opinion, were harming England. Henry VI's forces were not well prepared and were defeated in a short time. The York House attempted to restore order in England and started an unsuccessful reform campaign, which led to an intermittent war that would last for 30 years. The rivalry between the two houses dates back to the second half of the 14th century. When Edward III died in 1377, the heir to the throne was his 10-year-old son, Ricardo, as the firstborn had died a year earlier. The boy ascended the throne, but was challenged by his uncle, João de Gante, Duke of Lancaster. It would not be João himself, but his son Enrique, who, fighting under the emblem of the Red Rose, would defeat his cousin. In 1399, Henry IV became King of England, and the House of Lancaster ruled for 2 generations. The Yorkers, led by Ricardo, Duke of York, were successful in the first battle at St. Albans, but it took 6 years before their son Eduardo became king, defeating Henry VI's army at the Battle of Toten. In 1470, Henry recovered the throne, but died the following year. Edward IV returned to the throne, but, when he died, Ricardo, Duke of Gloucester, closed his 2 young sons in the Tower of London and took power again, becoming Ricardo III. His short reign ended with defeat at the hands of Enrique Tudor at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. As a descendant of João de Gante on his mother's side, Enrique soon ended the struggles by marrying Edward IV's daughter, Elizabeth of York, and reigned as Henry VII. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next.